Good afternoon, this is Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and this is my discussion video on the brand new Tistina archetype, the brand new 7 new reveals we got out of Age of Overlords. They just been revealed, and I'm super excited to go over these cards with you all today. If you don't know, Tistina is a very interesting archetype. It's basically the whole gimmick of the deck is it wants to Book of Moon all your opponent's monsters, basically through the effect of their level 10 god cards. It's a very interesting water aqua archetype / light aqua archetype. It's very strange, but I like it. I think they should have been rocks, but that's a whole other discussion. But out of Duelist Nexus, I don't think the archetype was playable. Hopefully, these brand new cards that they're getting in this set, 7 new cards to be exact, will boost this TCG exclusive archetype into the meta game, or at least into playable rogue status. So let's read these new cards and see if they're any good. So first things first, we have Fallen of the Tistina. It's a level 1 aqua water monster, and you can only use this each effect of this card once per turn. You can send this card from your hand field to the graveyard. Place 1 Divine Domain Bastille from your deck to your face-up field zone. So basically, it places your field spell. You can just discard this, get your field spell. It places, so it can't be ashed. If this face-up Tistina spell and trap you control is destroyed by opponent's card effects, while this card's in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can banish this card, spell summon 1 light Tistina monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use each effect of the Fallen of Tistina once per turn. So this is absolutely insane. Not only does it just place your field spell, which is absolutely insane. If you don't know, the field spell for this archetype is actually pretty good. It's basically a search on field spell. It's also just does a whole bunch of things for the archetype itself. I'll read you Divine, the field spell real quick. Basically, Divine Domain Bastille. Says during the main phase, you can send 1 Tistina monster from your deck to graveyard, so full burials. Then your opponent, if he controls 3 or more monsters, face up, you can spell summon 1 Tistina god from your hand or deck. You can only use each effect of this card once a turn. And if this card in your field zone will be destroyed by opponent's card effect, spell summon 1 Tistina monster from your hand or deck. So basically, when this card dies, it'll flow into a Tistina, and then this level 1 will then banish itself to special summon another Tistina, which is absolutely insane. Alright, so no one's ever going to clear your field spell unless they have Cosmic Cyclone, because this floating effect is absolutely ridiculous. The next monster we have is Return of the Tistina. It's a level 2 Aqua Fire monster. If this card is in your hand, you can target 1 Tistina monster you control, except Return of Tistina. Special summon this card. If you do, its level becomes the targeted monster's level. If this card is in your graveyard, target 1 Aqua XYZ monster control. Attach this card's material. Can only use each effect of this card once a turn. So it's a level modulator extender that can level modulate. So I guess the idea is that we're getting a new rank 10. And the idea is that if you control 1 of level 10s, and then special summon this card from your hand, level modulate to a 10, and then you can make a rank 10, which is pretty cool. Next we have, for our main deck monsters, we have a level 5 now. This is Fated of the Tistina. You can tribute summon this face-up Tistina by tribute summoning 1 face-down monster your opponent controls. That's really, really good. So you don't know this whole archetype's whole gimmick, and it wants to Book of Eclipse your entire opponent's field. So the idea is that after you Book of Eclipse your opponent's entire field, while you have this guy in your hand, you can just tribute 1 of your opponent's monsters in order to normal summon him. So you can tribute summon this card by tributing 1 face-down monster your opponent controls. This card's level becomes a level 10 if it's normal summon / set. If this card is sent to graveyard except from the field, target 1 Tistina monster you control. This turret can make a second attack during each battle phase. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. So this card's actually pretty good. The idea is that not only does it give your Tistina monsters double attack, which, by the way, the whole gimmick of the Tistina is that they attack directly and they book eclipse your opponent's field. So this card's literally saying, hey, target Tistina on a field, it will have double attack this turn, which is absolutely insane. Also, this guy becomes a level 10 if it was tribute summoned, and you could tribute summon this guy by tributing one of your opponent's monsters if it's face down in defense position. So overall, it's an interesting card, and I like it. Next, we have a new extra deck monster. This is Tistina, Divinity of DFS Darkness. So this is a new rank 10. It requires 2 level 10s. 2,000 attack, 3,000 defense, so its stats are ass. And this card is special summon, which of course is going to be XYZ summoned. You can send all face down cards your opponent controls to the graveyard. You can only use each effect of Tistina Divine that defies darkness once per turn. Once a turn, if this card has Crystal God Tistina as material, detach one material from this card. It gains 2,000 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. If this card destroys opponent's card while it has material, special summon one Tistina monster from your graveyard. So that's actually a really, really cool boss monster. So the idea is that you use the 2 level 10s to Book of Eclipse your opponent's field. Then you XYZ on top of them into this guy. And then this guy detaches material to become 4th K. And then he can clear the field of all the face down monsters. So it becomes a really cool OTK deck. So I guess the idea is that you want to go second. You want to be able to play through a board, Book of Eclipsing everybody. Then you want to make this XYZ, bounce everything. And you can use the level 5 guy and the other monsters in order to attack multiple times. So honestly, so far it's really cool. It's gimmicky. I like it. Let's read the new spell card now. This is Play the Tistina. Special summon one Tistina monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. It is a quick play spell, so the idea is that you can quick play into a level 10, which is kind of nice, but I don't think... Actually, I think this is actually kind of nice, because I think the one of Tistina, Demigod, is a quick effect during your opponent's turn. So the idea is that if you have one of them, you can just activate this, Reborn, or quick effect, special summon from hand, which is absolutely insane. So I like it. I like it. So far, none of these cards are bad. And then finally, we have Discord. Discordance of the Tistina. You only activate one of these effects once per turn. A control a Tistina monster, banish one card from your opponent's graveyard face down. If you control a Tistina monster, special summon from your extra deck, banish all cards your opponent's graveyard face down. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Tistina monster in your graveyard, add it to hand. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. So I guess the idea is that basically what you want to do is that you want to summon your 2 level 10s, you want to Book of Eclipse the entire field, you want to make the XYZ to then send all those monsters on the field to the graveyard, and then you want to use this trap card to then banish everyone's graveyard so that all the monsters you just sent are banished and all their resources in their graveyard are just banished. That's absolutely a pretty powerful effect. Even if you don't like banish, even if you're like there's not like big boss monsters in the graveyard, banishing all your opponent's resources is absolutely insane. The fact that this card says banish all cards in your opponent's graveyard face down is a very, very powerful effect. So I think the only thing holding this card back is that it's a trap card. But if we have a way to search this, which I think in the original set, one of the level 4 or level 3s can search this card. So overall, this might have huge potential. And then finally, we have Embrace of the Tistina. When your opponent activates a monster effect while on the field, you can target one monster, change it to face down defense position. During the end phase, you target one face down defense position monster your opponent controls. Take control of that monster. You can only use each effect of Embrace the Tistina once per turn. You can only activate them while you control a Tistina monster with 3,000 more defense. So, I like it. I don't like it's a continuous. I do like it's a continuous. I don't know. All these cards seem interesting. I see the game I plan. So the idea is that if you're going first, You set up a Book of Eclipse line where you make the basically you set up the combo so you can Book of Eclipse your opponent's board, and you have these powerful trap cards in order to protect yourself. And if you're going second, you Book of Eclipse their field, make the XYZ, send all their cards to grave, and then you set up this trap card to then banish all their cards in their graveyard. Overall, I really like this new support. I think the archetype's now playable. Is it meta potential? Maybe. I don't know. I gotta see some combos with this to see how like good it is and how like playable this archetype is. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's ass. I don't know. You have to tell me in the comments. But hope you all enjoy. Don't do anything stupid. See you all next one. Bye bye.